You know that feeling when you meet someone and it feels like you've known them your entire life? A connection so deep that it seems to shape your whole world?
Today, we're going to step into a world just like that. A place where friendship and love and heartbreak all get tangled together in the most unexpected ways.
We want to share a narrative with you. One that we believe is truly going to touch your heart. It's a story about the very core of human connection, told through three lives that are woven together.
See, it all starts with friendship, that pure, seemingly unbreakable kind. A bond forged between three people that honestly felt like it was meant to last forever.
And from that incredible friendship, something more blossoms. Love. The kind of love that just paints the world in brighter colors, promising a future that's just full of shared dreams and happiness.
But life is rarely that simple, right? With a love that big, there's always the risk of profound pain. Suddenly, long shadows start to creep in, misunderstandings that threaten to tear their whole world apart. So what happens when a single, tragic moment, a twist of fate, leaves behind nothing but the haunting memory of an incomplete smile?
This is a journey that really reminds us just how fragile life can be, how one single event has the power to change the course of everything, forever.
So prepare yourself for an emotional story. It's about love, about loss, and about the desperate fight for just one last moment of connection. Some stories you just know are going to stick with you. This is one of them. It's a story about friendship, about love, about some really deep pain, and it's all centered around one incomplete smile. This is the story of Aakhri Muskan. Let's start with these words. Just let them sink in for a second. These were spoken right before everything changed forever. They just hang there in the air, don't they? Part promise, part something much heavier. So, to really understand what those words mean, we have to go back to the beginning. We're talking about two boys from completely different worlds whose lives are about to get tangled up in a friendship that neither of them could have ever seen coming. On one side, you've got Aayush. He's quiet, he's simple, comes from a poor family, but his heart is just huge. And then there's Kabir. He has all the money in the world, but he's broken on the inside. He lost his mom when he was young and just kind of shut himself off from everyone. So different, right? But deep down, they were both looking for the exact same thing, a real friend. And then she showed up, Riya. She was the studious daughter of a government officer, a little short-tempered, and honestly, she preferred being alone. But here's the weird thing. The only person she ever really got angry with was Aayush. Why? Well, because he would just stand there and watch her, totally silent, just lost in her innocence. And for whatever reason, that just drove her crazy. Now, Kabir, with his friendly, joking personality, he actually managed to break through and become friends with Riya. But what started as a simple, happy bond between the three of them, well, it started to get complicated. It got all tangled up in feelings that nobody was brave enough to say out loud. And this is where things get really messy, right? You've got Kabir, who starts to fall for Riya, hoping for something more than just friendship. Then there's Aayush, who's admiring her from a distance, way too shy to ever say a word. And Riya, she's completely clueless. To her, Kabir's just a good friend, and she has no idea this silent storm is brewing all around her. Everything finally comes to a boil one night. So picture this, a lonely road, the rain is just pouring down, and a car has completely broken down. Riya is stuck, stranded. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, Aayush shows up. He just smiles, tells her there's a special kind of magic to walking in the rain, and they start heading home, sharing his one little umbrella. And for the very first time, Riya sees something else in him. Past all the silence, she sees this really simple, genuine kindness.
But right in the middle of this sweet, innocent moment, as they're laughing together under the umbrella, another car drives by. It's Kabir. And what he sees just shatters him. His mind starts racing with jealousy and fear. Why him? Why does she like him? Am I just a friend to her? And that fear, it curdles into anger. And without a second thought, without stopping to find out the truth, he just speeds off, leaving their friendship completely broken on that rainy road.
After that night, the silence between them was deafening. The friendship was full of these false assumptions. Riya could see the pain this was causing, and she knew she had to be the one to fix it. So she set up a meeting, a confrontation, a night that would end with a revelation that would change absolutely everything. So she sits them both down. She takes this deep breath, And then she says the words that neither of them could have ever in a million years prepared for. I don't love either of you, because my love is already dead.
And then the whole heartbreaking story just comes pouring out. She tells them about Vikas, the boy she was in love with, the one she was planning to marry. She tells them about the crash, a truck hitting their bike on the way home from a movie. And then she tells them about holding him in her arms as he died, right there on the road. Riya herself had a severe head injury and was actually in a coma for a whole month. After that day, she just closed her heart. All she ever wanted was true friendship.
And just like that, their little misunderstanding, their jealousy, it all seemed so small, so completely pointless. But just as those emotional wounds were starting to heal, a brand new, much more terrifying battle was about to begin. This was a race against time for Riya's life.
It turns out that accident from so long ago had left behind a ticking time bomb, a subdural hematoma. It's a life-threatening blood clot in the brain. The doctors were very clear. If the surgery wasn't immediate and wasn't successful, she wasn't going to make it.
Can you believe this? Even then, literally facing death, her only thought was for them. She looked at these two boys, her best friends, and said, I might not have much time, but please, don't let your friendship break because of me. So the day of the operation comes. The air in that hospital is just thick with fear and unspoken prayers. Everything, literally everything, is now hanging in the balance. As they're wheeling her into the operating room, she turns back to look at them one last time, and she says those words, the same words we started this whole story with. Only now they're filled with the entire weight of her life. If I come back, I'll meet you with a smile. If I don't, remember you were my best friends.
6 hours. 6 excruciating hours just waiting in the dead silence of a hospital hallway, where every tick of the clock feels like an eternity.
And then the doctor comes out. He has that look on his face, the one that tells you everything before a single word is spoken. His words just make it real. We tried, but we couldn't save Riya. In that absolute chaos of grief, as Kabir just collapses, Aayush has this moment of clarity, and through his own tears, he whispers, her last smile, it was for us. He just knew, somehow he knew, that in her final moments, her very last thought was of them.
And that, right there, is her legacy. Aakhri Muskan, the last smile. Riya was gone, yes, but in leaving, she finally healed the one thing she cared about most, their friendship. She left them with a memory, a bond that was forged in tragedy, and a final heartbreaking smile that would stay with them for the rest of their lives.